welcome to
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we are going to talk about
everything entertainment.
So, sis, you are up first this week.
Yes.
What do you have?
I am super excited to talk about this one.
Okay.
Super, super excited. We are going to talk about Barbara Walters' Tell Me Everything.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know about this. There's a Barbara Walters documentary that is amazing.
No, not familiar with it.
Okay. Barbara Walters, she's that woman. Okay. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
But, so let me just tell you some of the people who end up being on this documentary. So, you know, Barbara Walters is very famous for all of her interviews.
Yes.
I'm
making
Barbara
people cry.
Walters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Barbara Walters.
Mm-hmm.
Today
and her
we
W's
will
and her
talk.
R's.
Yes. Yes, she says that in the documentary. She was like, I was just a young girl who couldn't pronounce her R's.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But so people who she has in it, it's like her interviews that she has with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Clint Eastwood, Sherry Shepherd, Eddie Murphy, Michelle Pfeiffer, John Wayne, Drew Barrymore, Woody Allen, Grace Kelly, Christopher Reeves, Whoopi Goldberg, Judy Garland a couple of times, actually quite a few times.
Okay.
No, it's a couple of times with Judy Garland, Elizabeth Taylor, Katharine Hepburn a bunch of times. Like, I think they were actually genuine friends.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, even though Catherine spoke like this. Yeah. Sherry O'Terry acting like her on Saturday Night Live when they was then I know you're doing something right when Saturday Night Live starts doing a parody of you.
Yep, exactly.
You got Taylor Swift, Bette Midler, O.J. Simpson, Dolly Parton, Michael Jackson, Ronald Reagan, Diana Ross, Robin Gibbons, Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah Winfrey talks about it a lot. Barack Obama, Johnny Carson, Mike Tyson, and the list goes on.
Wow.
So, what this is, it's a recap of Barbara Walters and her amazing career in journalism beginning to the end, 60 years of her being our inside connection to celebrities and political figures. Mm-hmm. So, she had a lot of hardships with some of her co-hosts and, like her co-anchors, that they basically did not think, because of her co-hosts and like her co-anchors were all men. So they didn't think that this was a place for women to give out news information. Okay, I'm sorry. Men say that women gossip, but then for all of the gossip, you don't want a woman to give it all out? I don't understand that.
Exactly.
News is nothing but gossip.
Crazy.
But you don't think it's a place for a woman to be there? Anyway, she had 3 extremely ignorant co-anchors that tried to stop her shine. But she did make her career a success regardless of what they said or even did. One man that she was trying to be a co-anchor with, he basically did anything and everything he did to make her not be his co-anchor. He was like, she's going to be my co-anchor or the anchor of this over my dead body. Well,
what year was this? Was this the 60s?
Yeah. But the thing is that when he said that, then he died. So guess who became the anchor of the show?
Oh, over his
his dead body. Literally over his dead body. Yeah.
Words are powerful.
Exactly. So she goes into different things. So it starts off about how she was just doing like those little, what are those called? Those pieces. It's just like a something piece where when she first started, it was just like, we need the pretty face to be out there and go to bunny school so you can tell us what the Playboy bunnies have to go through in order to be on, the magazine or whatever. So she was doing all of that stuff, but she really wanted to be in journalism. So, and then she kind of got the opportunity to drift into from the little, whatever those
side stories.
The side stories into actual real stories. So,
I forgot what they call them. Yeah,
there's like
B-roll,
something pieces, think pieces or something like that. Yeah. So one thing that she did that changed everything was she did I'll get to that, but she did interview with foreign leaders that was like no other.
Okay.
Even to the point that Walter Cronkite saw her as his biggest threat. And even pushed her out of the way when these foreign leaders were trying to share their information and stuff like that with her. He
really?
literally
Well,
just
Cronkite was like, nope.
yeah, and it showed. You see it. It's
her.
literally her. So it was Walter Cronkite and another guy. They were it was like CBS, ABC, and NBC.
Yeah.
So Walter Cronkite was on, I think, NBC, and then whoever was on CBS, and then she was ABC. So from there, they were already in this country trying to do this interview.
Okay.
And while they're all there, she's now having to catch a flight to go over there. She had to rent a plane, a private plane, get flown over there, run across the tarmac, and she's running, screaming, hey, 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 hey. Mm-hmm. And they said Walter Cronkite even said she ran across the field. No, she ran across the tarmac like she was substituting in for a sports player. Like, hey, let's substitute me in. Tap me in, tap me in. So, but the thing is that as these prominent men are walking, they see her and they're like, hey, Barbara, and they stop everybody. Yeah. They grab her hand and they pull her in, and now they're talking to her, and Walter Cronkite just comes in, boop, right in between them. It's like, hey, what's going on? And she's just, and you see in the thing, she's just standing there looking at both of them. They're like 2 inches in front of her face. Oh my gosh. Because this political figure has pulled her in to him. Yeah. Like, I'm so excited that you're here. Yeah. I'm ready to talk to you. And then Walter Cronkite just kind of comes in.
And he was like, oh, she's just a pretty face. Like, why are we even trying to have her be a part of this men's conversation?
Exactly. But, so she was just trying to share the information about their lives, their political views with just Barbara. They just wanted to be with Barbara. They didn't want everybody else. Wow. But, and that's what made the men more angry. So she had a way of letting you see the personal lives of dictators and leaders that were not the best, but then seeing them, how they became so-called monsters that they are, like, basically now. Now she talks about her relationship with her daughter and how hard it was for her daughter, because you have this woman who is a huge figure. Like, everywhere you go, you see your mother's face, but your mother's not there for you. Yeah. So there was a big thing with that. And then she also goes into her legacy of being a female journalist and all of the women who have come through the door that she has opened. So it's amazing how it goes into that.
Yeah, because a lot of people give her or pay her homage for everything that she did. Oh, yeah. Because of,
Oprah Winfrey on it, talking on it. Oprah was like, I wanted to do everything that Barbara did. Yeah. She was like, she basically laid down the plans. All the plans for everybody who wanted to come behind her. This is what you have to do. Yeah. So I thought that was amazing. Mm-hmm. But when she was running across the tarmac to go and speak to this foreign leader, it was actually the Egyptian president Anwar Sadat. Oh, yeah. And while she was talking to him and doing an interview, she asked him, she was like, can we do an interview with you and the Israeli Prime Minister Begin? She was like, can we do this together? Not with everybody else and like that. And they were like, yeah, we could definitely do that. So she got two leaders to come together as they were already pissed off at each other.
Yeah. I do. I feel like I remember that.
Yeah. And it was such a big thing. And she was the one who got the original. And then Walter Cronkite was like, yeah, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get this too. But his interview wasn't as good because she's laughing and joking with them. And he's just
serious. He was always super serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Always super serious.
Exactly. But she had the two leaders that were just going back and forth of their ideas. Like, this is what we want. This is where we see Egypt going. And then the Israeli prime minister being like, and this is where we see Israel going. And this is how we want to do this. And it was just the back and forth. And everybody who saw it said that the interview together was historic. They were like, we just watched history being made, seeing these two foreign leaders that hate each other. Yeah. That are now sitting on the couch side by side, not on a long couch.
With her.
This is a love seat. Okay. Right, side. They sitting on a love seat and she's sitting in a recliner right across from them. So, it was just very historic. So, she did her special. So from that interview, that actually boosted her career to where she got a contract from ABC for $5 million for 5 years. A woman having $5 million.
Unheard of.
In 5 years, $1 million a year, unheard of. Right. Oprah even says in her part, she was like, me making my $25,000. She was like, to see Barbara Walters being able to get $1 million, she was like, well, maybe, she said, me thinking in my 20s, like, 20 years old, just starting into journalism. She was like, well, that makes it closer. Like, I will be able to get at least $50,000. Like, she's thinking that. And she was like, but now look what I have. Yeah. Just from following that. Yeah.
Yeah. The billionaire.
Yes. But then also, Katie Couric was on here and talked a lot about her. And Katie Couric was basically saying how, Barbara Walters did Cribs before MTV did Cribs.
Taking people through their house.
This is how.
I was thinking it was Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I was
thinking that was Crips, but anyway.
But this is more intimate because now you're just not seeing the rooms of stuff like that. You're sitting down and having conversations with these people and getting to get into their lives, not the information that you get from tabloids. This is, hey, tell me what you think about love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Talking about different perspectives and the feelings. Yes. Getting to
see that this is still a person, even though they're a celebrity, they are still a person. Opposed to you have the Inquirer, the Star, and everything that's like this person salacious. Came. Yeah. It's always going to be some drama with that. But yes, it talks about her interviews, how she goes to people's houses and she's like, all right, like Clint Eastwood, let's go and sit on your bench outside of your farm and let's go ahead and have a talk and, we'll just answer questions from there. Eddie Murphy, hey, you haven't even finished, furnishing this house. Like, what are you going to do? He's like, it's coming. And she's like, okay, well, let's sit right here on your nice rug and do the interview. And she's like sitting down on the floor with Eddie Murphy doing an interview, which is amazing. That's cool. Her riding around with Ronald Reagan in his truck and saying, this truck is dingy. Like the upholstery's falling apart. I think the truck's about to fall apart. All of that, her getting into all of that and really being able to make celebrities personable. Yeah. Not only celebrities, but foreign leaders. But there were a lot of people who were like, not liking that idea because of the fact that they were like, how are you going to be serious when you have foreign leaders and any kind of political person and you're doing their interviews, but then you want to go and interview Barbara Streisand? Wow. Like, how is that even a thing for us? Like, right. How are people going to take you seriously? You go into important people and now you go into just like people who just have money because they're funny? So she was like, no, it's going to work. It's definitely going to work. And it did, because the whole fact of you being able to do an interview one day with Fidel Castro and then the next day you have Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right. Either way, people are going to tune in. Yeah. Exactly. Because you want to know anything about Fidel Castro because you know nothing about him. And then you want to know about Arnold Schwarzenegger because you know nothing about him. Yeah. So I thought that was just amazing. It was a very, very good and well put together.
How long was it?
Almost 2 hours, I believe. Okay. But also, I will say that it goes into why she started The View. Okay. And how she basically wanted The View to be her last baby before she retired. Like, she knew retirement was coming. Yeah. She knew she had to stop. Okay. And then it was, how was she going to go about doing it? So she was like, there are a whole bunch of different women and everybody has different points of views. Mm-hmm. So why don't we just get them together and talk? She was like, who wants to listen to women talk other than women? Yeah. So she's like, this is my idea. Daytime? I don't know anything about daytime talk shows, but I'm going to put this together and we could just talk about stuff. And then all
different women, different perspectives.
And then us being able to talk about it back and forth. So they were like, how amazing it was. And then her last episode, seeing that was definitely like, it gave me chills. And I remember watching it and I feel like it gave me chills, like just rewatching it again. So definitely amazing documentary to watch. Is called Barbara Walters, Tell Me Everything.
Tell Me Everything. Okay, yeah. Awesome. No, that's good. And to have so many people watching. I mean, being a part of it. Yeah, because she was just so impactful to people. So,
it was cute how she's
Did
like.
Talk about her personal life at all?
Oh yeah, it went into her personal life. I'll let y'all get into that.
Yeah, I know.
Because Barbara was in them streets.
Yeah,
okay,
Barbara was no joke.
Barbara was outside. Okay, and I will tell you this: a lot of political and celebrities wanted Barbara. Yeah, a lot of politicians wanted Barbara.
But see, this is the thing.
A lot of celebrities wanted Barbara.
Okay, but you also are dealing with the fact that so many men don't want you to do the role.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then you have to walk the fine line of, I'm still a woman, I still think somebody's attractive, whatever, but then not to make it that I got the role because
yeah, exactly.
So it's like a weird situation where it's like, oh, I find him attractive and he might be a network head, like executive or something. But then it's like, but if I go there, then people are going to assume the only reason that I got this job is because of him, or because I'm sitting in this chair is because of that.
But no, by the time she messed with some of these men that she messed with, she was already established. She was already up there.
But she was married, right?
She was married for a period of time. Okay. I believe that was at the beginning, but then her and Katharine Hepburn actually sit and have a talk about and you see it in the interview, was like, Katharine Hepburn was recorded saying that if she was a man. Oh. If Katharine Hepburn was a man, she would never date a woman who had celebrity status. Oh. She was like, why would I do that to myself? If I'm a man, why would I do that to myself? Because that is the head. That is everything. Now I'm just...
the side piece.
The side, yeah.
Like on the side, like the arm candy.
I am the one that does the laundry and gets the kids together and packs the lunches.
Okay, got it. Because everybody's only giving that person attention, which does sometimes cause issues for relationships.
And then it's like,
it's
because of the masculinity of men, they're just like, well, this is your role. This is what you're supposed to do. It's like, but who made the roles?
Right.
If I'm making this money, then you should be making these sandwiches. I'm not asking you to do nothing else but make the sandwiches, put the kids on the bus. You can do whatever you want for the rest of the day.
And some men, are totally okay with that.
Some men are, but back in that time, that was a very hard struggle. So,
and then you're like, I'm not going to that event. That's for you. Nobody's going to look at me. Nobody's going to talk to me. So you just go to that red carpet event and do whatever by yourself.
And also another thing with Barbara Walters is that her father she looked up to her father, but then she also had some animosity towards her father from some things. Mm-hmm. But every man that she wanted to date was basically like her father.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just life.
Yeah. That's life.
That's life. So yeah, check it out, please. Okay. It's very good.
And what was it on again?
It is on Hulu. Yes, okay. Barbara Walters, Tell Me Everything.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah. What do you have, sis?
So I have the second season of Poker Face.
Poker face.
And so this is Natasha Lyonne's show. And for those of you who do not remember Poker Face from season 1, which I really thoroughly enjoyed, it was a show about her being a person who can tell when people are lying. Like as soon as somebody's lying, she's like, BS. BS. And she doesn't like always say it out loud that the person knows that she knows that they're saying something that's a lie. But it helped her so much when she was living in Vegas and she would go to the casinos and she could always tell, like, when playing poker.
Yeah, it's like, you're lying. He's bluffing. Come on.
He's bluffing. So she could win. All of that kind of stuff, right?
Hey, I'm going to take your money. I hope you know that. Right.
And so in the first season, there was Adrian Brody and there was this whole thing with Benjamin Bratt and all these characters where she ended up like knowing a little too much and knowing that somebody had murdered her best friend. Murdered her best friend. And so therefore, because her best friend knew too much. And so she went on the run. Mm-hmm. And so the whole first season was about her being on the run and her going to different cities and towns and places and meeting different people and basically like solving crimes while she was just on the run. Yeah. And so, and occasionally the people who were looking for her would try to find her and locate her and all of that. And so for season 2, that's basically where it starts, is her, again, being on the run. But season 2 more starts that every single place she goes, they're finding her. She goes this place, they find her. She goes this place, they find her.
Nowhere does she go.
It's like ping, ping. All these gunshots are just like coming after her, and she's just like running, and so it's showing like all these places of her just sitting around and talking to people, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 and she's like, oh, gotta go. And people are sitting there like, why is somebody trying to shoot at you? Like, what's happening? So she finally ends up on this like apple orchard picking apples. And there is this person that you can tell that she like sneaks away as this car is pulling up. Mm-hmm. And so she puts together that, that's that family's car. So let me go ahead and sneak behind this apple tree. And in the process of doing so, she ends up, when she's hiding, the person is in like almost like a bee kind of covering, so they're just like talking to the people in the car, and they're like, oh, no, I've never seen that woman before. I have no idea. And like literally she was just standing there, right beside him. And they were like, no, I've never seen her before. And they were like, oh, we know she works here. And it was like, I haven't seen her. And then they were like, well, now that I think about it, I think she said that she was getting ready to hit the road and go to blah, 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 like just some other place. And they were like, okay. So then they drive off, and then she comes up and she was like, oh, what did you do that for? Like, thank you. And when the person lifts up their thing, it's Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're like, oh, she's in this first episode, right? And so what I then found was that everybody in the history of working in Hollywood is in season 2.
Oh, really?
Of Poker Face.
That's what I like the shows, when it has a whole bunch of people that are playing little small roles.
Yeah, they're all in small roles because she's going around to so many different places. So you can actually have multiple famous people in one episode. So Season 2, let me go through the list of people that I have that are in here. You have Cynthia Erivo, Aquafina, Katie Holmes, John Mulaney, David Allen Greer. You have Rhea Perlman. You have Method Man.
Okay. Everybody.
I know, that's what I was saying.
It's a plethora.
Is it Ego Nudum?
Yes.
Did I say it right? Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
You have Jason Ritter, Giancarlo Esposito, my boo. You have Gabby Hoffman. She was in Transparent. Love her. You have Haley Joel Osment from The Sixth Sense. Little boy.
I see
who's
dead
grown
people.
up now, right? Exactly. Jason Thoreau.
Okay.
You have
Justin Thoreau?
Justin Thoreau.
Yeah,
Justin Thoreau. Margot Martindale.
That's my boo. That's my lady.
Exactly. You have Sam Richardson. He was in The Green Mile. And it's just
everybody.
Constant.
I feel like that makes a good show.
It does, because then you're just seeing them in these whole different areas. Like at one point, Method Man was like going up against somebody who was doing like jujitsu or something. I was just like, what is happening? So like, and then you're like watching it knowing that something is about to happen. Sometimes, most of the time it's a murder, but something is about to happen and you're wondering like, how's she going to solve the case? Because you see it happen. You know who's lying from the very beginning. And so that to me is kind of fun, because you're realizing like, she's not even in the scene. Like the whole first episode, I swear, with Cynthia Erivo, it was a good 30 minutes of that show. You didn't even see Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, I believe that. Because you have to follow Cynthia Erivo. Exactly. That's Elphaba. Come on, get out of here.
Exactly. And so you're just watching her journey. And then you're just like, how in the world is Cynthia? Like, you kind of can put something together that Cynthia's going to show up. But then you're like, how does she go from being on an apple orchard to being at this home of these people who used to have a TV show and their mom died? So then they're coming to see the will and whatever. They don't care about their mom. Funny enough. I mean, who's played by Jasmine Guy. Oh, she's in it.
Oh, Jasmine Guy. Okay,
yeah. So she's in it. So so then it's like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, so how did she get to this funeral? She didn't know the mom. Like, why would she even get there? And so anyway, she offers to drive the person who helped her out to her mom's funeral. She was like, oh my gosh, well, I'll drive you there. And she was like, I'm like, I don't care about the funeral.
Yeah, I'm worried about the money.
Well, and the thing is that the mom, the kids were all in a TV show. And I won't give away something about that, but the kids were all in a TV show. And so in the process of that, the mother stole all the money.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So all the kids are now working and doing certain things and living all over the world. But they are like, I could care less.
Yeah, she stole my money.
Because she's got all the money. She's living in this big mansion with this 2 staircases going all the way up and all of that. Yeah. So then Cynthia Erivo, well, maybe I'll just say a version of Cynthia Erivo, because I have to give something away. But anyway, one of them's taking care of her mom. So if you think of twins or something like that. So she's taking care of her mom. And so therefore she's like doing everything for her mom. I mean, just so...
Cynthia Erivo?
Yes. Like she is not the one in the apple orchard. This is a different version. But she's like there, and she's very like timid and she's very like artistic. And so she brings up some artwork and shows her mom, and her mom tears into her and just is like, do you call that art? And just cracking up laughing at her art and just treating her horrible. Yeah. Horrible. And so then you have it where...
Narcissistic parent.
It's terrible. Yeah. And so then you have it where, she's just doing it. She's like, I'm feeding you. I'm cooking for you. I'm doing this. And her mom's like, yeah, the lawyer's coming. I have to make some updates to the will. And she's like, okay, what in the world, is going on? So she's trying to talk to the lawyer, finding out what's happening with the will. And the lawyer's like, I can't tell you. Which he does give some things away. Yeah. Because she gets in his face and he's just like, he's just a young
he's boy. Scared. He's scared. He's like, okay, all right.
He's like, I can't, I'll get disbarred. Okay, like that. And so anyway, in the effort of him trying to protect the mom's, update to the will, but at the same time, him being fearful of her, he ends up giving out some information, and lo and behold, mom changed the will, and guess what? Took her out of it.
Of course, took her out of it.
So but she's like, how in the world is she taking me out? Like,
and I'm the one, because I'm the one taking care of her.
So then you know where the murder's coming from.
Yeah,
the first, few minutes, of course. And so, so that's where it's like, well, and is it a murder or is it that she just allowed her mom to die?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, I could help you.
Like, kind of like how, what was it? I Could Do Bad All By Myself with the, was it I Could Do Bad All By Myself when the husband was in the hot tub with the bubbles.
When he was in the bath.
Yeah,
she was like, I could let him die or I could help him. Yeah, exactly. And so, no, that was Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what that was. All right, Taraji P. Henson's another one. Right.
Yeah. So, so anyway, that's when, you know, everything starts to unfold in regards to the mom, the will, who's she leaving everything to, and then it's such a good episode. Okay. Like that first one
traps you in.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I thought I was looking at a movie. Like,
oh, wow. I love that. See, I love that.
It was so good and it felt long. And I like checked twice.
To see the time?
Sure that, like, I was like, wait, I'm only 27 minutes in. Like, it feels like I've been watching this forever, you know? But it was so good. And she played her butt off. Okay. Like, when I tell you, like,
she's an amazing actress. Yeah.
She is. She's really amazing. And I like that she wasn't, like, weird, well, I mean, she was slightly quirky as an artistic person in this, but she wasn't like, sometimes you see her and it's just really weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just her in life. But this was like her real, like, I mean, it was cool. It was really good. And so because the Cynthia Erivo character who was on The Apple Archer is like, I'm just wearing my flannel.
Yeah, I'm just outside. I'm just chilling. I'm doing my life.
Let me just live. Yeah. You know, I'm going to listen to this and so be it. And then the other one, come to find out she's a little conniving.
Oh, okay. She get it from her mother.
She was quiet and timid.
But she get it from her mother.
Conniving. And the things that she does, you're just like, wait, what?
Oh, really? It's like that?
And I mean, like, yes.
All right, that's cool.
Just watch the first.
But I mean, if I see how her mother's treating her, then I could see how she would be.
Yeah, she could be conniving, right? Yeah. But it's like she's being conniving against her sisters, even. You know, all of that.
Yeah, your mother's a horrible person to you, so therefore you're going to be a horrible person. You're going to be a horrible person to other people. That's all you know.
Well, in a way, the sister was like, they assumed the mom would leave everything to her. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's like, well, when you don't leave everything to her, who do you leave everything to? And then before they even show up, you know, the flannel one, she's like, I'm going to have to talk to, you know, talking to like Natasha Lyonne. She's like, I'm going to have to talk to my sister and see if she'll at least give me something, like, you know, because mom didn't do it. So is she going to have enough heart to give me something, you know, whatever, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of going down that path. But the way everything breaks down and like finalizes, I was just like, what in the world? Like it's crazy. I don't know whose mind came up with this first episode. Okay. I'll put it that way.
All right.
And then, you know, you have the different episodes, like I said, the one with Method Man and David Allen Gray. Like there's just so many different people and they're just like, it's just fun. It's a fun show to watch.
I like that.
Anyway, that's Poker Face.
Poker Face season 2.
Season 2 on Peacock. If you haven't watched season 1, watch season 1. Like that one was really, really good too. And it gives you the foundation and the base of where all this comes from.
Okay.
If you don't want to watch it, then as long as you know from what we're sharing that she's on the run, then you can put it together. It's not like a procedural where you have to know what happened here in order for you to go to the next thing. So, yeah, but there you go.
All right.
So what you got next, sis?
So my next one, I'm not going to do another documentary. I'm going to skip that documentary for the next one.
Do another time. Okay.
But this one, I am going to talk about Heretic. Heretic is on Max. Okay. You know how I like A24 movies. I think A24 and Bleecker Street actually have some of the best production when it comes to their movies. The production companies, they have some of the best movies, and I really like how they do stuff. Okay, it's more of like a millennial type of company. It's not Paramount, it's not Warner Brothers, it's A24.
Okay, and you said this is called
Heretic.
Heretic.
Yes.
I don't even know how to spell that, but okay.
Yes. So Heretic is Heretic. I'm going to go over the cast. So you got Hugh Grant as Mr. Reed. You have Sophie Thatcher, which a lot of people know her from Yellow Jackets. She was actually, what is her name? Not Parker Posey, but what's the other one's name?
I don't know.
From Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. But anyway, but yeah, so she plays Sister Barnes.
And what's her name? I'll look it up real quick.
Sophie Thatcher.
Okay. I know her face, but I can't think of what her name is on the show.
You also have Cleo East, who plays Sister Paxton, and those two are together, working together. You have Topher Grace, who is the elder Kennedy. And then you have some more people that you really don't see. The main people that you see in this show are Mr. Grant, Sister Barnes, and Sister Paxton.
Okay.
Now, this is a thriller, but it is a thinking thriller, not a psychological thriller. Natalie was her name?
Natalie.
No, who was the actress that she was who was the older woman? So she's the younger girl.
Oh.
And
yeah. I know what you're talking about. The one that was in oh shoot, I can't think
yeah, but I keep wanting to say Parker Posey, but I know it's not Parker Posey.
I looked that up too. Okay, sorry. I didn't realize we were going for the older version.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they basically, this is what happened. So you have two young girls that are Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and they're going around spreading the good word of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. So they you see them walking around. Juliette Lewis is her name. I kept thinking Parker Posey. I was like, no, the other 90s, 80s actress.
Yeah, really famous. Yeah.
So they are two girls that are Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints going around and spreading the good word, the good news of Jesus Christ. They've been doing this all day. So they go from one place to another, talking to some people, handing out some flyers. And then they have another house to go to. They was like, all right, our last one is this one house. We got to go to this house that's a distance away. So they're riding their bikes, as the Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints do.
Oh, okay.
They ride their bikes to this house. It has a gate and everything in front of it. So now they have to try to get in. So once they get in, it's a man, and he invites them in to debate some things, but it's weird.
Okay.
So like it starts off with like there are rules basically for the Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints women that are going to spread the word. Okay. So therefore, if you're going to a house and there's a man there, his wife or his child or his sister, another woman has to be present to be like a chaperone. Yeah. So you have to have a female presence in the home when talking to a man. So when they get there, Mr. Reed is there talking, and he's like, oh yeah, my wife, she's actually working on cooking a pie in the kitchen. Like, if you all want to come in, please come in. Because he knows, okay, these girls, he knows the rules. Mm-hmm. They have to have a female here. So how do I lure them in? Boom. I'm going to lure them by telling them that she's
in the back.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen.
She's in there.
So that kind of eases their feelings about anything potentially happening to them, but it's still a weird vibe. Yeah. The house is very, like older looking. So it's still like a whole bunch of flowers on the wallpaper. The furniture is older looking. It's kind of like, I don't know, like we have old money. Yeah. That kind of look. But the thing is that there's a big discussions that they have about beliefs and disbeliefs. So they are going back and forth about different things in the Bible, different religions, different beliefs. And as he's talking to them, there's talk about this blueberry pie that his wife has been making, a blackberry pie that his wife has been making. And the thing is, you don't even see the pie till almost the end of the movie.
What?
Yeah. And that kind of got me. Like, where's this pie?
Yeah.
That everybody be talking about. Y'all been talking for like 20 minutes. A pie can be done in 20 minutes. Like, I don't understand where this pie is. But the film goes into what is right and correct in your beliefs and your disbeliefs that you have that you think is right and correct. So with this debate, when it goes into a thriller, it is, where's the wife? Where's the wife? Has anybody seen the wife? Nobody's seen the wife.
That's what I was going to say.
So
but it sounds like there must be a wife. If there's a pie, there must be a wife.
Exactly. So then you start to see little things of why you know that there's not a wife there. Then it gets harder and deeper, and then it goes into full on, I think this man's going to kill us.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. It is like that. He takes their bikes. He takes their bikes.
How did he get their bike? Like, he's with them.
He excused himself. Excuse me, let me go check on my wife and the pie. He's gone for a while. The girls are sitting there talking. They didn't leave because he's going to check on his wife and the pie. But all he's doing is he's going out to the gate, getting their bikes and putting them away. Because
who's playing that role?
Hugh Grant. Yeah. Yeah, and he plays like creepy. He is a really good actor. I've always thought that when he was like younger too, when he was doing all these like rom-coms and everything. But then when I saw him in different roles, I was like, man, he's actually a decent actor. So it is basically a movie about if you have beliefs in Christ, how much belief do you have? Do you believe that he will save you from this house? And did I set it up for you to test your belief? For your And that's what I'm saying. It's a thinking thriller. So he has one door that says beliefs and one door that says disbeliefs. And it's like, so if you still believe that Christ and believe in Christ and everything holy and believe in God, then you would go through this door and see where it takes you. But if you have an inkling that there is some disbelief, then you go through that door and see where it takes you. Now, one of them is to freedom, but it's only up to you to figure out which one it is. So now they're
not going to lead you to.
Yes. So now,
and if he leads you to a different door, then that's God's will.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes you think the whole time. And then he's actually using scriptures. He's using scriptures from the Quran. He's using scriptures from the Torah. He's using scriptures from the Bible. He's talking about Buddha. He's talking about Hinduism. He brings in all of this stuff in to kind of debate back and forth with these young girls while getting to his point of what do you really believe? Is it a belief or disbelief? So it goes very, very dark.
I can believe it.
When you see the pie, that's when it's the darkest moment. Yes.
I'm thinking blood.
No, it's not blood. No, it's not blood. It's actual pie. It's a pie. Yeah. Pie. But I'm saying, but once you see the pie, then you know, okay, this is
putting it together.
This is bad. No, it's like this is bad. This ain't even like we should have never. When we saw the gate close, we should have just kept riding our bikes.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. So I thought it was really good, especially if you are into like the conversational piece of it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's just twisted how this man took the debate of the conversational piece back and forth into now, is God going to save your life? Do you believe enough that God will save your life?
Yeah. Wow.
Or do you have an inkling that you might have some disbelief and that might be the door that you have to go through in order to save your life? But if you believe in Jesus Christ, because you're a Latter-day Saint, you're supposed to go through this door. Will that save your life, or will that save your life? So it's just like psychological. And I thought it was good. It is the minds of whoever wrote this. Definitely, you can tell they're American because it's only things that Americans would do in this movie.
Oh boy,
Like other countries, you just be like, I don't want to be around you anymore. I don't think you should live anymore. Boom, you're dead. No, this is, let's play a game and see if you live. But part of the game is going to be, Saw. It's like Saw. Yeah. It's like, we're going to play a game. Let's see if you live. But part of the game is your beliefs. What do you believe in? Tell me. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's debate. Very good. Very good movie. So if you're into things like that, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's called Heretic. You can watch it on HBO Max or Max. I'm sorry, I keep saying HBO Max. Yeah. But you can watch it on Max and get your own point of view out of it. It is a weird movie, but it's very intriguing.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Very, very intriguing.
Okay.
So,
and it has a lot of different people in the cast, but it sounds like when you're explaining it that it's only them with the two, like the three people.
It's mainly the three people. Topher Grace and actually Topher Grace. Yeah. He actually pops up looking for the girls. He's like, it's getting late. Where are the girls?
Gotcha.
That's it.
So he had a really quick payday.
Yeah, but everybody else who's in it, there are some ladies that you see later on that are in it. But then everybody else is who they bump into before they get to this house.
Before they get to the house. Yeah. So it's okay.
So like the cast is not anybody that you know.
Yeah.
Besides those four people, Topher, the two young ladies, and Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Those are the only four faces that you actually know. Some other people be like, I think they look familiar.
Yeah, they look familiar, or they're like,
Yeah, but I feel like if you're a Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint, maybe 2020s are not the time for you to be knocking on people's doors because people are insane.
Well, I mean, Jehovah's Witness still do it too.
Well, Jehovah's Witness stopped doing it too.
Yeah, they knocked on mine. Did I tell you?
No,
like a month ago.
Yeah, but maybe you should just have something and then just invite people. Yeah. You don't have to knock on their door, come into their home. Why don't you just, hey, can I leave this flyer with you? You can leave this flyer in your mailbox. Yeah. Please join us. Yeah, or else you might be missing.
Open the door and just yank you off.
Yes.
Into their house.
Yeah.
But the thing is that typically it's 2. So maybe they feel like, okay, we send you out in pairs so that things like that won't happen, thinking that if they pull one person, then there's another person who's a witness that knows what house, that knows whatever. Like, it's something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But interesting.
I don't know. Okay. I feel like it's such a dangerous world. Maybe they should relax on that. World. Yeah, some emails, some text messages. I get text messages all the time from the government. It's not even for me. It's for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, Lenora. I don't know how I got your information, but I respond with not Lenora, then put in junk.
That is crazy. Yeah. I just get the ones that tell me that, UPS is trying to deliver a package and I need to click on something for the tracking or whatever. Or USPS.
Oh, yeah.
Is, having some
and I'm like, I ain't got no money. I ain't ordered nothing.
I was like, if you ain't Amazon, I ain't buying.
Yeah. Even if it was Amazon, I'd be like, I ain't buying nothing. Yeah, wait, hold on. I need to return some things. I need to get some money back.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But definitely check it out. Heretic on Max.
Okay.
What do you have next, sis?
So I have a TV show, a new drama on TV show on Prime called Countdown.
Countdown, okay.
Yeah, so it is. Let me go through the cast. So it has Jensen Ackles. Or Ackles, I don't know how he pronounces it, but he was Homelander's dad in The Boys.
Okay, yeah.
So he's like the main character. You then have Jessica Camacho. So and he plays, by the way, Mark Meacham. Then she plays Amber Olivieras. Then you have Eric Dane. So Eric Dane, you know him because he was in Grey's Anatomy. He was McSteamy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
McSteamy, McDreamy, Mix something.
Yeah, McDreamy was the
brown hair one.
Guy.
Yeah, okay.
And then this was McSteamy. So he is playing in this, and I'll tell you his character in a second. He's Nathan Blythe. You have Violet Bean, who plays Evan Shepard. You have Yuli Latikfu, and he plays Lucas Fino. And so he is the person who, remember when The Rock had his TV show about him wanting to be the president or whatever, and then you had his adult self or his college self? This is the guy who played that. Okay. And then Elliot Knight plays Keontae Bell. And that's kind of the main characters, right? So the thing is, and you have to think of it, the way I see it is like, remember how you would watch Criminal Minds? And you would have that like core team that's all working together. You have Penelope, and you would have, Shamar Moore calling her baby girl all the time, and, all of that kind of stuff. So you have one girl who's like a hacker, and then, like it's just this core team. So let me just go through the situation. So it's a procedural drama, and it's basically based in LA, and it starts off with the Department of Homeland Security, right? And you have where it's a customs agent. Oh, by the way, it has, what is his name? He was in it for like 2 seconds. Oh my God. The father from This Is Us. I can't think of his name in real life.
Oh, I don't know his name in real life
but,
either.
But yeah, I know about like Megalioli or something like that. I can't think of what his name is. But anyway. So the father in there. So he starts off on the show where and something told me as soon as I saw him, I was like, I don't remember seeing him long in the trailer. I wonder how long he's going to be around. So anyway, but he is a security customs agent who starts off and he's checking into a few things. So he ends up like checking little locks and stuff like that. And you know how when you're walking in customs, you're like walking through all of those big, huge containers, right? And they're stacked up on top of each other and stuff. So he's checking locks and seeing zip ties and all of that. Then you see him like look around, and then he like cuts around a corner and he goes down a little street, and then he ends up meeting up with a person. And then that person is like, he's like, hey, and he's talking to him, and they're like, yeah, I've been looking for you too. And then he holds up the phone to the customs guy, and he sees his own face on there, like it's a hit on him. And so then he realizes like, whoa, he's getting ready to come after me. So then somebody comes up behind him, so it's a fight. And so anyway, they start fighting, and then he gets away, but he loses his gun. But he gets away, and he just runs. So he's running, and they're running through people, and they're running through alleys, and they're jumping over stuff, and all of this. So this is like all first like 15 seconds. So you end up having him finally circumvent everybody, everything. And then lo and behold, he crosses a corner. He's so happy. He's smiling like, yeah, I lost him. And then bam. he's out. Like, they got him. So anyway, so then the whole rest of the, show is about what was going on. How did this customs agent die? Why was he there? What was he doing? Why was he going away from his posted station to go meet up with these people in the first place? Like, is he good? Is he bad? Is he dirty? Like, what's going on with him, right? And so they create this task force. And because of the fact that it's weird because it's like senior agents from every area, which is kind of interesting. So you have where the guy who was McSteamy, he looks
very old in this, by the way.
Yeah,
he needs his facial hair back. He looks weird without a facial hair.
Maybe that's what it is. He looks cuter, with the facial hair. I think that might be it. It covers up maybe.
Yeah, it's a men's makeup.
Maybe.
I would say that a woman having makeup and a weave in is the same thing as a man having a hat and a beard.
There you go.
Because when they take off the hat, you see them. Bald. There's a guy who I work with. Shout out to E. He's a great guy. His hair is long and luxurious. But when he takes off that hat, he got the Megamind head. His hairline starts halfway up to his head. But when he has the hat on,
you can't tell.
Very attractive guy. Takes the hat off and I'm like, oh God, I did not recognize that was going to be there. Yeah.
That the cul-de-sac was there.
The cul-de-sac is in full effect.
Oh my gosh.
And it's full houses in that cul-de-sac because his hair is long.
Stop it.
It's past his shoulders.
That's
so yeah.
Funny. All right. So anyway, after the guy unfortunately, meets his demise, then you have where it cuts to a helicopter. There's a senior agent. He's in there. He's heading to security headquarters in LA as the FBI. And so then they cut to a person who's like in a prison yard, and it's the guy who's the main character.
Yeah.
So he's undercover. Okay. So they have him cut to him being in a prison yard, and then he starts this big brawl for some reason, and then the next thing you know, he's put in like solitary, but that helps him to get out. Mm-hmm. So they're like, you're called to an assignment, so come on, come with us. So then he's out. Then it cuts to a woman who is being held prisoner. And so she is like arms up over the beam of something, and she's like hanging from her arms, and her feet aren't even touching the floor because they're torturing her. And so then she's seeing this lady who's cleaning the floor, and she's like, "Can you at least slide the bucket over or something for me?" And the lady's like, "All right, fine, I'll help you out a little bit." But in the process of doing that, she's able to escape, so there's a whole fight with her and the people that she, were holding her hostage. And what you come to find out is that they're all being summoned by the main guy who is McSteamy. And he is like, look, we're going to need a whole task force. It's going to be the CIA. It's got to be the DEA. It's got to be the FBI. We're going to have a cyber hacker. We're going to have some LAPD people here. And one of them is with the one who used to play The Rock. He is guns, gangs, and crime. So that's his LAPD side. And then you have the main character who was Homeland's dad. He's robbery and homicide. So basically, it's this whole task force that comes together. And they're like, look, we're on the hunt trying to figure out what went on with that Homeland Security agent. Is he clean? Is he dirty? And then they find, oh, by the way, as they're like uncovering everything, he got a deposit for $250,000, like 3 weeks before that. So what's going on? Why is this money in his account? All of these things, right? So then they go through this whole situation of different things that are happening, different people that they come across, it's a lot of drama, a lot of things that are, I don't know, like, they go to a door, and of course the person shoots first and asks questions later. So, you have to stand to the side of the door whenever you're knocking on it. Yeah, exactly. So then they come across a situation where it was, they finished something. They're like, ooh, good. We figured something out. Mm-hmm. They go to walk, and this guy was like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me check something out here. So he goes, and he was like, why is everybody protecting this one container? Mm-hmm. Like, what's happening with this freight container? Come to find out, it has like Chernobyl-sized nuclear bomb in there. Because he like pulled out the little thing, and you hear
the radiation thing. Yes. Yeah, the radiation finder.
So they're like, oh my God, they're trying to blow up all of LA, basically. God. And so it's like so many different things in this show that's going on. And so they're they are a task force that basically nobody knows about. Mm-hmm. So they're like, no, the government doesn't know about us.
Yeah.
And LAPD doesn't know about us. So you're doing all of this under covert, top secret. Come to find out, the reason that he picked all the people that he picked is because of the fact that nobody would care if any of those people end up gone.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, do they have family or anything? Because usually the people who don't have family are the best ones. Like when we were talking about the Gorge.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have family, then you are a candidate for this awesome opportunity.
Opportunity that you may not come back home from.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with this is that the main character, he put that together. And he was just like, I know why you wanted me here. Like last time that I saw you, I basically cussed you out and you hate me and I hate you, but now you want me to be a part of this task force. And he was like, but the reason is because, whether I live or die is not really of any consequence to anybody because I could be gone and nobody would really care. And so the guy didn't deny, that piece of it. And so it's interesting too, because there's another element to this where, of course, the main character guy and the main woman who was hanging from the beam, they hate each other.
Oh, okay.
So they'll fall in love. I mean, that's just a given. It's not even a question. Like, that's just how these shows always work. But the interesting thing is that she hates him because her best friend's sister was stood up at the altar by him.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she hates him. So if they don't, have a connection, then, I mean, maybe it's because, well, I'm not going to do that. That's my best friend's sister's fiance, whatever. But that's why she was like, oh yeah, I know you. And he was like, you know me? How do you know me? I was like, well, I know you because of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because you left her at the altar.
Exactly.
Runaway groom.
But then what he said, which was interesting, so maybe that doesn't matter, is he said, well, all I'll say is this, since you're so upset, basically. Her and her sister look a lot alike at 2 a.m.
Oh!
So it sounds like the night before the wedding, the sister pulled up on him.
Yeah.
And he was like, maybe bachelor party, I don't know. But he was just like, I can't marry her after I slept with her sister.
Yeah.
So, and then the lady sitting there looking like, really? Like,
I want more of that story. I want to know what happened with that story.
Yeah, they don't give us that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like the show. I feel like it's really good. I watched a few episodes. It's one character in here as well, because it has little side storylines. One character, it appears as though, and he's like a side character, really, like to McSteamy's right-hand man, I guess. But it's something going on with where I think his son passed away. So there's a storyline that goes on with that a little bit. But then you also have a storyline where somebody on the team has a brain tumor that's inoperable. Okay. So therefore, are they going to be a little more risque? Because of the fact that it's like, oh, I'll stand here in the middle of all the gunfire and shoot and not care if I get hit because I'm going to die anyway. So it's things like that are going on too on here that I really like. So anyway, that's it. It is called Countdown. Okay. On Prime.
On Prime. All right.
Yep.
So the last thing that I want to talk about is Mel Robbins and the let them theory.
Oh, Mel Robbins. Let them.
Let them.
Just let them. Hopefully everybody's heard of that.
Yes. So basically the let them theory is you can't control other people, so you just kind of got to let them do what they do.
Yeah. And it was her daughter who introduced her to the theory.
Yeah, exactly. And how her daughter introduced her to the theory was basically one example that she gives was her son was going to prom. Yeah. And first he was like, I'm not going to prom. And they were like, oh, you sure you don't want to go to prom? And then he was like, nah. And then he came back like the week before and was like, yeah, I'm going to prom with this girl. And they were like, okay. So now she's doing all of these things to get everything together. She got the, was it corsage and the boutonniere. I was about to say boutonniere. Yeah.
Something. I can't remember.
The little lapel thing.
The little, flower.
So she has got all that for him, trying to figure out what he's going to do as far as eating. And she was, and he was like,
I think I was thinking about the thing that goes, that's a cummerbund. I was thinking of trying to.
Boutonniere sounds right. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, so as she's talking to him, she's like, okay, now you got everything. Don't you want this, corsage or boutonniere, whatever, for your this corsage for your date? And he's like, nah. And she's like, well, I got y'all matching ones. Why don't you want to wear it? And he was like, no, she doesn't want to wear it. She's not going to like it. So no. And, as they come to take pictures and everything, the date helps, gets the father to help put it on him. And then, all of a sudden Mel was like, oh, she doesn't have anything, and grabs the corsage and then gives it to her. And the girl's like, oh, thanks. No, it's fine. I'll put it on. And the son's like, Mom, what are you doing? Yeah. Come to find out, the girl had made her own and wanted to wear her own. And that's why the son was like, no, Ma, she doesn't want it. She, he didn't say she doesn't want it because she's making her own. He just said, no, she doesn't want it.
But you got to communicate things.
Well, I mean, but then also he's a teenage boy and he's communicating to his mother. What teenage boy will communicate to?
It's going to explain everything.
Yeah. Right. So
what did the girl end up wearing?
So the girl ended up wearing the one that she bought. But the thing is that the thing is that after that, her daughter, her oldest daughter, was like, Mom, just let them do what they want to do. And she was like, okay. I mean, but they done blah, 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 blah. She's like, Mom, just let him. It's his thing. Yeah. Let him do it. And then it was like, all right, so where y'all going to eat? And he's like, oh, I guess we're going to go to this taco spot. And she was like, the taco spot seats 10 people in there, not comfortably. And 20 kids are supposed to be going to this taco spot. She was like, no, why don't y'all think of somewhere else? And then everybody's like, just stop. Just let them do what they want to do. She was like, it's supposed to be, it's raining and rainy. She's like, it's rainy and it's dirty. And she was like, and the kids were going to get all nasty. And my son had these nice white shoes on. And I see the bottom of the girl's dress getting all dirty. She was like, but they were having a great time.
That's what's important.
So she just was like, I just let them. I just let them do their thing. So her whole theory is you can't control people or what other people want to do, what they think, what they say. She was like, you just got to let them. Like, you control what you do and say and think. Yep. Let them control what they do and say and think. There's nothing to do with you. So some of her chapters are stop wasting your life on things you can't control. That's one chapter. The let them and let me. So basically what the let them and let me is like, let them do what they want to do, but I know that I am going to do this way. And I'm going to meet the people where they are and not trying to change them and not trying to I guess, like, change how they are.
Yeah, but they have to let me.
Yeah, they have to let me do it. Yeah, exactly.
Let me.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, how life is stressful. That's another one. Shocker. Life is stressful. Another chapter is let them stress you out because it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. If you're a mother, your kids are going to stress you out constantly. Yeah. We were just talking to our sister cousin Vanessa. Yeah. Shout out to Ness. Yeah. And she was just like, Diamond's birthday, and then the kids start school that same week. And I'm like, oh wow, that is a lot on you. Going on. It's stressful, but you know what? It's just part of your life. And then also let them think bad thoughts about you. You can't control what other people think about you. If they're haters, the good thing is that you're always on their mind. So that means that you're doing something right.
Right. Yeah. That's what they say. Whatever people think about you is none of your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I've used that quote multiple times, and I love it. And people are just like, wait, what? What they think about me is none of my business. That's their business.
That's their business.
About me, but I don't got nothing to do with me. That's what they think.
Don't even know me.
They don't know me, she also talks about how difficult it is to love people. It's very hard to do that. When grown-ups throw temper tantrums. So basically she was going through the part where if you were a kid and somebody says you can't have that, you're going to throw a temper tantrum. You're going to be mad and yelling, throw yourself on the floor. She was like, adults have temper tantrums too. They're still that little kid. She was like, so the temper tantrum is not going to be yelling and flailing on the floor, but it might be slamming the door in your face or cussing a person out. She was like, there's still a temper tantrum that you're going to have. Have it, get through it, move on, go on about your way.
Well, it's interesting. Even though I didn't have the let 'em as the words, but I've always said for at least 20 years, you can't control anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, if you can't control a kid having a temper tantrum, what makes you think you're going to control a whole adult?
Facts.
So therefore, I have had that theory without it being called.
You could have had this book.
I could have had the book.
You could have had the book.
I could have wrote the book because I've always felt that way. Is that you think, and especially, and it goes to even when people are like, oh no, I need to be around my man. I can't trust my man. I can't do this. I can't. It's like, you can't trust that your dog is going to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're not even going to pee in the spot you want them to pee in. But yet, you were going to say that I can't trust my man. That's a grown person.
Yeah, it's a whole human being.
A whole human being who's not going to be around you 24/7.
Exactly.
So therefore,
has never been around you 24/7 and is still not going to be around you 24/7.
So therefore, at some point, they got to go to the bathroom. At some point, they're going to have to go to work. At some point, they're going to have to do something. So therefore, like, hello, what is the problem here?
Exactly.
So just either trust them or leave them. Those are your options. So anyway,
another chapter is the right decision often feels wrong, and when she goes into that, is basically when you have things that you are trying to do for yourself or for your business, or whatever, it's going to feel wrong because it's not something that you want to do yourself, is what you're doing for the other people. So it's like, this just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's working. It's getting the other people.
Yeah, that is so true. As a new entrepreneur, that's exactly what they said, is you can't do what you want to do for you, for your business. You have to do what the people need.
Yeah.
So therefore it's like, like I have to spend all this time crafting, speaking to over and over and over again to things that may not be necessarily what I want to share, but you have to give them what they need or give them what they want and then share what they need.
Exactly. She talks about how to make comparison your teacher. So therefore, she was like, if you have somebody that you are comparing yourself to, don't compare yourself to them. Compare the things that you are doing to the things that they are doing to push yourself forward. Mm-hmm. So not compare each other, but compare
because they might be on level
the actions.
Yeah, you're on level 1.
Exactly. Yeah. Compare the actions, not the actual thing.
Are they waking up early? Are they pouring into themselves?
Yes.
Are they training? Yeah.
Yes. And then she talks about why some friendships naturally fade. Mm-hmm. So she talks about how she was mad at some of her friends. Her and her husband had moved to a different state or different area, and then all of her rest of her friends were all together. So she was getting mad at them because they were hanging out together without her. And she was like, I'm mad at my friends, and now I don't even want to be around them. They're no longer my friends. They want to invite me to things.
I was like, but you're not there.
Yeah, and then she was like, but then I had to think about it. I am not there, so that makes sense for them to be able to, they can go across the yard to each other and talk to each other and do things.
How far away was she from them?
I don't know. She was a distance. She was a
3
distance.
hours?
Yeah.
It's like, what, you want us to call you every time we're getting together to have a glass of wine?
But she felt mad, and then she was thinking that her and her friendship, like her friendships with the people weren't lasting. Yeah. But it was just like, but if you have a true friend, it doesn't matter how far you are away from each other. When y'all get back together, you're still friends. The only thing is lives. Yeah. So therefore, you're dealing with your life, they're dealing with their life. If it's convenient for the other two friends to be able to get together, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that you are completely out.
Yeah. Right.
It just means that you're just in a whole different part of your life than they are in their life.
Yes, you're not replaced.
So don't be replaced. She also talks about how she had to go and find friends when she moved into the new neighborhood. And she was complaining to her husband and to her kids, I can't find friends. I spoke to a couple of people. I've done this. I've done that. So she was explaining how she had met somebody. She went out for a walk, met this lady, talked to her for a while, and she was like, yeah, hit me up if you ever want to do anything. And then it had been months and hadn't talked to the lady. Now, as her and her daughters are walking around, they're like, oh, that lady's house right there? They were like, yeah. And they start walking up the driveway. And she's like, what are you doing? They were like, we're going to knock on the door and you're going to ask the lady if she wants to come out and play. Because her daughter was like, well, when I went to college and I called you and said I didn't want to be here, you said, go make some friends. And then give it a year and then we'll try from there. She was like, so now I'm doing the same thing. And she was like, and my kids did to me what I do to them.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, for my children to do that, she was like, one, I was doing something good. I was doing something right. But she said, but then also it was, now I see that what I say makes a difference. And now I have to learn from my own words. Mm-hmm. So literally she knocked on the door, like her kids knocked on the door. And when the husband came to the door, they were like, hey, my mom needs friends. Can you get your wife? And he was like, yeah, give me a second. Goes in and gets his wife. And his wife comes out. She was like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Yeah, what, like, are you going for a walk now? Like, what do you want to do? And then she was like, now we're friends. She was like, when I wanted to meet people in a new city, she was like, I went to a coffee shop. She said, I kept going to the coffee shop and meeting people. She said, and the barista, she was like, hey, I just moved here. Tell me some stuff about, things around here. And he's explained everything to her. She was like, you're really nice. What's your name? She said, in her contact, she has the name of the coffee shop and the man and what he did. Then she saw it was another couple that was sitting there. So she talks to them, gets all their information. It's a newly parented couple, like they had a newborn baby, and she's talking to them. She got their information, wrote their names down with the baby. Mm-hmm. So then she was like, she did that. So and then that way, every time that she went to a coffee shop, she'd be like, Tom, what's going on? Kevin, Stacy, how are y'all? How is little Timmy? So then it was like making her more of a personal person. She was like, it's not something that I wanted to do. She was like, but that's what I had to do in order for me to feel comfortable in my new space, in my new thing that what I was doing. So the book is amazing. I do like it. I think I have 3 chapters left. I'm on chapter 16. I think I have 3 chapters left.
Easy
and then
read or listen?
I'm listening to it while I'm at work. So some of it I do have to rewind because power tools are loud.
Yeah, this is true.
So sometimes I do have to rewind. I've actually listened one of the chapters when she was talking about the her making friends and stuff like that. I listened listen to that one over again because it was a lot of stuff going on at work. But it is a good book. It actually, I listened to it through my Amazon Music because they have it linked up to Audible where you can get one book a month to listen to.
There you go.
And you're not paying for Audible.
You're not paying for Audible. You can
it's just Amazon Music has books on there. It's certain books, yes. So I'm doing this one. I've already done You Deserve This Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I've already finished that book. And now I'm on Let Them. And then the next one I'm going to go to is not really a self-help, but it's just a book that I wanted to listen to. And that's the Miss Pat book. Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Got it,
so that's that's going to be my one for next month.
Everything that's on Audible, but it's certain things.
Certain things, yeah. Certain things. And it's probably like whoever they got a contract with.
Some kind of deal with from some way with Amazon.
So, I think it's awesome. I love it.
There you go. I love it. All right, everybody. So that was good. And that's this week's episode of Sestra-Tainment. Everybody, I hope that you found something very, enlightening or something that you'll watch or something that you'll,
read, listen to something like that.
From our, we were upbeat today.
Yeah, very much so.
We were very positive today. I don't think we had any.
Maybe we need to start recording more in the daytime.
I don't know.
Is that the difference?
I don't know. But yeah, so, but anyway, I hope everybody has an amazing day, an amazing week.
Yes.
Take care of yourself and each other.
Bye.